We found out that we were pregnant with Mason around April 2009. We had been trying for only a couple months, and we finally got a positive pregnancy test, so we were very excited. Well, the day we brought our baby Mason home, we had been in the hospital for 3 days, and we packed him up in his teeny tiny little car seat, in his little dinosaur hoodie with his matching beanie, and we were just so excited to start this new adventure, being parents of 2 little boys. Well, it was a crazy day. It was September 26th of 2011. Mason was 9 months old, and I got a call from the doctor that had done all the tests, and they told me I had infiltrating ductal carcinoma, which to me was a different language. I had no idea what she meant, and so she had to break it down and say, well, Jessica, you have cancer.
I was with her when she received the phone call from the doctor that gave her the results. You know, I knew the conversation wasn't positive, and when she hung up, she looked at me, and as she broke down, she told me she had breast cancer.
You know, I was 30 years old, I was healthy, I had a 9-month-old baby, I was breastfeeding, I had a 2.5-year-old.
You know, you don't expect your child to tell you that they have cancer. You know, it's just not supposed to work that way.
Treatment was the first thing I thought of, how to get rid of this cancer and get it out of my body. I did change my diet. I did do surgery and chemo and radiation, and thank God I did, because I'm here today. Well, we first learned about life insurance through a really close family friend who is an agent. When I started going through treatments, through the chemo and the radiation, my agent came to me and said, look, we might be able to help you out here with your accelerated benefits and get you some money to help pay for medical bills. And he was definitely right. We helped with all of my medical bills, and we really got to focus on me getting better instead of having the heavy burden of financial stress.
Well, I just really never understood the power and flexibility of life insurance until the day that Jessica and Anthony received their living benefits check from National Life. And it just totally changed, you know, their financial outlook.
My motto is, live a life you love. So when I first got diagnosed with cancer, my husband Anthony bought 1,000 pink bracelets that said my motto on it, live a life you love. So you still wear it today. The more you open your eyes to love and let it flow in your life, the better life is going to be.
I'm just so grateful that Jessica was responsible and got life insurance, that the agent, you know, was generous and sold Jessica this, you know, abundant policy, that National Life had the integrity and came through on their end of the deal, and that God answered all of our prayers.
Well, my advice to people who think they're too young for life insurance is that you're never too young for life insurance. It's not just in case you die, it's to live a life that you love.
We all want financial independence for tomorrow, but the amount of money you need to save can seem overwhelming. It's easy to say you'll start tomorrow, next month, or even next year. But what you may not realize is that time is more valuable than even the money you are putting aside. It's the strongest tool and the biggest multiplier. So, where do you start? Ask a couple of key questions like, how much do you need? How much do you want? Just like maintaining physical fitness requires a healthy diet, exercise, and consistency, maintaining financial fitness has a few main components. Work out what you'll need, forecast what you'll have, and maximize savings and interest. Let's start with something simple, a daily cup of specialty coffee. If you save just $4.95 every day, in 20 years you could have $54,364. In 40 years, you could have $174,400. As you approach retirement, you need to make sure you have a retirement income that will last. Saving is only part of the solution. What if you could turn your savings into retirement income that you can never outlive? Jumpstart your retirement income and make sure that it lasts for the rest of your life with our guaranteed lifetime income rider on flexible and single premium annuities. Experience the life you want to live in retirement.
Now, are you sure your father didn't leave anything written before he passed?
No, I don't think so.
This is ridiculous.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, but with no plan, the government will be making many of these decisions for your mother's estate.
She would have never wanted
He had
this.
no say in the matter. Just like that.
My father wanted our home to stay in the family, not to be sold.
Doesn't that mean it's ours now?
She didn't intend for her money and things to be split up like this.
Or his business to be handled this way.
There's no way.
When did this thing become the way things are?
Without your will, Mom,
Without you around, Dad.
how will any of us know what you wanted and be able to prove it?
They won't. Over 60% of Americans do not have a will. And almost 90% of them do not have an up-to-date, comprehensive estate plan. Your financial future, your children's financial future, and your legacy all depend on how you preserve your estate. With more than 10,000 baby boomers reaching retirement age every day, we are now in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth our nation has ever experienced. Without a will, power of attorney, living trust, and healthcare documents like a living will and healthcare surrogate, you might be putting your family at risk. If you have savings, bank accounts, or a home, you have an estate. And if you don't create a plan for it, the state will. To keep the government out of your affairs and your affairs off public record, net law lets you avoid a long, drawn-out process in court known as probate. Without a written will, it doesn't matter what you've said or promised. There's no way to dictate who will care for your underage children, the age at which your children can access their trusts, who gets your home, who inherits all your accounts and belongings, what happens with your business, who will make your medical decisions. With net law, you get your will, who gets your things and who will care for your kids, power of attorney, who will pay the bills if you can't due to incompetency, healthcare surrogate, who will make your medical decisions if you can't, living will, your determination about being kept alive by machines forever, living trust, your family's protection from the government getting involved in your estate settlement. If you're unwilling to let the government make decisions about your inheritance and life's work, if you want to ensure who gets your most valuable things, then take charge of your future today by creating your estate plan with the affordability, simplicity, and convenience of net law.
You're a business owner. You have lots to do. You may have an employee or two, or possibly many employees. The process of paying your employees may not be a big deal, but the benefits of outsourcing payroll are far more than you might realize. Even a single owner with no employees can save significantly on taxes by putting themselves on payroll. Not only is outsourcing payroll a significant time savings, it will also minimize your risk of liability. Small business owners often do not realize the legal requirements associated with payroll, including state unemployment insurance, overtime laws, and paid sick time requirements. You probably don't know all the laws. Sourcing payroll solves so many small business issues. It saves time, it minimizes risk, It provides reliable payment of employees. When you sign up for payroll, you have access to fantastic resources: HR tools, tax withholdings, direct deposit, and compliance documentation.
Need help with bookkeeping services? Most startup business owners, in an effort to minimize expenses, attempt to manage the bookkeeping on their own. However, as business income grows, along with expenses and transactions, this may be a difficult task to maintain. In most cases, this part of management duties is often neglected, which leads to poor financial management and bad business decisions. It also ends up costing you more time and money to do your tax return. Worst-case scenarios also include government fines for late payments or miscalculations. We can help. Some of the tasks we can handle with our professional bookkeeping services include payroll deductions, unemployment filings, sales and use tax, bank reconciliation, P&L statements, balance sheets, and more.